Hi, I'm Victoria Weinstein, and I'm the minister of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greater Lynn, which is located physically in Swampscott, but exists now in virtual space. So I'm really glad to welcome you to our summer Sunday offerings. These are shorter and more meditative and contemplative offerings that will go through July and August. A fresh one will drop at 10 a.m. every Sunday, and it will be followed by our 11 o'clock Zoom gathering for coffee and conversation. I'm really so happy to welcome the Reverend Myozen Joan Amaral of the Zen Center of the North Shore to be our worship leader or our program leader throughout the month of July. And she will be joined by guitarist Greg Gallo, who will be providing our music for us while our music staff takes a much needed vacation. If you want to know more about the church, please just check us out at UUCGL.org, and also keep your eye on our Facebook page for just information and to connect more with the community. We hope that this time together blesses you, and we hope to talk to you and to greet you soon. Take care.
Good morning. Wonderful to be here with you, I'm feeling you, even though I can't see you. I know that by the time you're watching this, you can see me, so I'm feeling you already. My name is Joan, Myozen Joan Amaral. I was with you a few months ago, and I have such a wonderful memory of that. So I'm just going to be building on this, growing out of that this morning. And I'm very grateful for this invitation. So thank you, Reverend Vicki, and welcome back from your sabbatical. So this is part of your summer Sundays, and this is a celebration of sacred space. So I'll be offering 4 of these, I believe. And so this is the first one, the first chapter. And so I thought I would introduce you to our Zendo in exile, the Zen Center North Shore. I'm the priest at the Zen Center North Shore here in Beverly. And during the pandemic, we have been practicing just as we always have been, just not in our physical space. So this is my home, and this is my home altar, which has become the Zen Center Altar, broadcasting out to the world. So I wanted to share with you who these friends are today, just to spend a few minutes on this. Maybe if you don't already have a designated sacred space in your home, maybe you want to do that. Especially it's helpful during the pandemic, if you're still quarantining as we are. And, you know, I'll just share that we're going to continue 100% virtual for a year. And we're hoping by then there's a vaccine, but we're going to be extra careful. So to support us in our practice, our home practice, many people have set up their own altar. Now, as you can see, this is not really utilitarian, we could say. It's about beauty and about symmetry and spaciousness. Some of the elements here that you might consider for your own altar are fresh flowers. These they caught my eye at Trader Joe's last week, these little yellow roses. And then a source of light, a candle, if you feel comfortable with that. Just make sure you blow it out at the end of your session. And then a place to offer incense, and I've lit a stick of incense with you in mind. When I light a stick of incense, I say, may the fragrance of the Dharma reach everyone, everywhere. And I especially feel that when we're, you know, in this virtual space with each other. Still, I can have that intention. This fragrance, may it permeate all being. This fragrance that is an invitation for peace and for being right here, as opposed to just here. The body receiving the light, receiving the beauty of the flowers, receiving the scent of the incense, and also receiving through the ear the sound of the bell. When this happens, this is an invitation to come into the present moment where things are possible. It's the opposite of anxiety and neurosis, where we're thinking, we're ruminating about the past, worried about the future. We're just right here in this blessed, beautiful, sensory-filled moment. Okay, the three characters here we've got are, of course, the Buddha, the central figure, the figure of awakening, the awakened one, encouraging us to wake up to the truth of our lives, the truth of human life. And then two supporting characters who are very important in the Zen tradition. The Bodhisattva, which means awakening being. I think I used this term when I was with you a few months back, because I see you as awakening beings. Bodhisattva, it's a Sanskrit word. Sattva is being, and Bodhi, which is connected to the word Buddha, is awakened or awakening, in the process of waking up. Practice, which is what we're doing this morning. So two bodhisattvas in the Zen tradition. These are the two of the real central figures, I would say, in our practice of waking up. First of all, we have the Kuan Yin, which is she's the Chinese expression of the Bodhisattva of Compassion. And if you look closely, you can see here, she's holding a wish-fulfilling jewel. And here, in her left hand, she's holding an urn which contains the nectar to quench the flames of distress. So this is the Bodhisattva of Compassion, the hearer, perceiver, regarder, receiver of the cries of the world. And you'll notice she's in the posture of royal ease. One knee up, and her arm is kind of resting on that knee. She's in a posture of rest, of ease. Even as she's receiving the cries of the world, she's not stressed out about it. She's totally relaxed in the midst of that receiving. And some of us feel that that foot is on the ground as if she's about to get up and actively respond. So this is compassion in action. And I feel very strongly that the practice of meditation is about this. There's the dharma of the first bell of sitting down and being in our own pain, opening to it. And then the dharma of the second bell, which is getting up and responding actively to the pain of the world. So you might consider that. The second character is Manjushri. Manjushri Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva of wisdom. I'm having a thought, which I don't know if it's okay to share. Anyway, he or she, kind of an androgynous figure, holding this sword. I don't know if you can see it. The sword that cuts through delusion, and this is what's making me laugh. The thought arose just now, cutting through the kind of BS that we produce in our own minds. Cutting through delusion. And this is really important. What's also firing in my mind right now is, sometimes the BS, the delusion, might be spiritual bypassing. It might be, seeing meditation as, with our sneaky, clever ego activity. We may think that when we meditate, we're somehow, immune. We're somehow, I'm meditating, I'm good. Like that meditation is supposed to be about reaching some state where I'm no longer affected, by the suffering of the world. And that's, in my understanding, in my experience, nothing can be further from the truth. That's classical spiritual bypassing. So the sword is cutting through that, you could say. And it's also the sword of discriminating awareness. Discriminating awareness. Wisdom. This sword some might see that as a weapon of aggression. What I'm feeling is that anger, purified, is wisdom. Anger, practiced thoroughly, allowed to course through as energy in our being, can be purified as discriminating awareness or discernment, wisdom. And so we need both of these. We need both wisdom and compassion to wake up. Wisdom without compassion can be kind of a cool, detached kind of experience. And compassion without wisdom can easily fall into sentimentality. So I see wisdom and compassion as the two wings of Buddhism that allow us to take flight in freedom. All right. Listen. Breathing. Taking a nice deep breath. On the inhale, expanding the lungs, the blessed lungs. On the exhale, allowing the lungs to soften as the air exits. On the inhale, allowing the entry of fresh oxygen. And on the exhale, allowing the release of CO2. the marvelous round of giving and receiving that allows us to be alive. So we've established kind of sacred space, acknowledge that we're creating sacred space for the activity of breathing, the sacred activity of breathing. We do it all the time. Maybe allowing in this moment the thought that this activity is sacred. Every breath is sacred. And of course, we can't say this without thinking about Mr. George Floyd. Right here, taking a breath for George and for Eric Garner. And for all those who are not able to breathe freely within systemic injustice. It's part of our current reality. Please breathe freely right now. Breathe consciously. Breathe deeply. On the inhale, expand bravely into the pain. And on the exhale, let it go completely. Don't hold on to anything. We need you for the long haul. The struggle's going to be long and hard. So like Kuan Yin, let's assert relaxing into this opening. On the inhale, opening bravely into not knowing, into learning, into listening to the cries. And on the exhale, relaxing into, stabilizing into our own solidity, our own I'm here-ness. I am willing. I'm rooting myself in a kind of whole body determination, resolve to wake up to the cries of the world by listening and responding with wisdom and compassion. So I'm only supposed to go for 20 minutes. I'll admit I've lost track of time. Let's just spend a moment together in silence. Let me ring the bell once more as an invitation to open to your own awakeness. Rooting through the tailbone, right where you are, seated, or if you're standing, through the soles of the feet. And if you're lying down, which is beautiful too, feeling the whole spine being received by your sofa, by your yoga mat, by the grass, by the earth supporting you. And feeling from that tailbone extending up through your entire spine, long out through the crown chakra and into infinity, rooting in the earth, extending toward the sky. One long vertical length of resolve. Like Kuan Yin, shoulders dropped, chest open so the heart can shine. Breathe. There's so much more to say. I'm going to wait till next week. Let's pace ourselves. Let's enjoy this blessed moment, and then the next blessed moment, and then the next. And onward we go. Thank you so much. Take good care and see you soon.